Hello, welcome back. My name's Andrew. Hope you're all well. It's been a couple of weeks since my last video. It is in fact New Year's Eve for me right now, but I do remember at the end of the last video I mentioned I was going to be giving away a little something, and this is that little something. It's a brand new unopened Reolink Go Plus camera with its very own solar panel. And a really nice thing about that is you can put it wherever you want on your property. From the comfort of your sofa, you can watch it on your phone or your tablet or other devices you have. Also comes with nighttime capabilities, so you can watch all the wildlife, and hopefully wildlife and not intruders. Now I'm going to be asking a question further down in this video, and I'll go into more details when I get to that point. I'm going to be asking one really simple question, and the first person that gets that correct will be the proud owner of one of these. Not one of these, it will be this actual one, as it's the only one I've got, but it is brand new. It's so lovely to see this whole area going green during the course of the winter. I love it in the summer when it's all looking clay. That colour is so nice. But seeing it green is also really nice. And it does look more green than it did last year so far. Now, I'm not going to take credit for it. Maybe I will a little bit. So last year, if you watched my videos, you'll know that I was going over this area inside the fenced section quite a lot. And I had a lot of comments on it, turning it into a dust bowl, desert, you name it. But there was a reason for it, and I did explain it at the time. 40 years of no one living here. Keep it nice and simple. They just turn the soil every year, and apparently I was told that it's not good for the nutrients in the soil, but it does need a covering over here to try and keep in that moisture. So doing what I did last year worked. This year, slightly different tactic. I'm going to do as little as possible. Does need going over maybe 1 or 2 more times before we go into the summertime, but I want to watch it all grow up and look beautiful. Just want to maintain it a tiny bit. I'm not trying to turn it into a lawn. It's got to look as natural as possible, but right now there's definitely more grass, so hopefully now that means it's going to be good for the cork trees and the fruit trees. On the other side of that fence, I'm going to plant some more fruit trees, and further up where you saw I cut down a whole area because legally I had to, just before the water, I'm going to plant some carob up there. I've already planted quite a few more cork trees, which is nice. Nothing has been killed. We're only adding to it, and I'm hoping that it's going to make my life a lot easier going forward. But it does look really nice here, especially the contrast against this orange. Very nice. Yellow flowers as well. I don't know if you could see them, but they do look lovely. We're back at the house in the village, but it is a new year, fresh start. Just going to have a little walk around and see exactly what we got left to do. But first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you had a good one. Beautiful day today, a little bit chilly, but it's a good time to start. Happy New Year, James.
Happy New Year.
Ready to start?
2023, let's go. About a month off. Let's get on with it.
Let's have a look inside. Oh, backtracking, because I realised last week I came back while we had some beautiful weather and went over the front of the house again, giving it its final coat. So that now is all done and it's looking really nice. Well, you know, I've only been in here twice in the last 4 weeks, so it's as much of a shock now as it was before. Especially when you walk in from outside that looks nice and neat. There's a lot of work that needs doing in here still, obviously, but we've done the bulk of the heavy stuff, I'm pleased to say, which now means that anything we do going forward is going to be a transformation. So it may look like there's a lot to do. Well, there is, but because we're now going to be piecing it together, we should start seeing some change. We're going to continue first of all with the ceiling area and work our way down. So we're going to measure up, get the beams up there, we'll get the plasterboard up there. We need to put the plasterboard in the front area because we've already got the beams up, as you can see through there. Above my head is where the mezzanine is, and this one, once we've got the boards up, it will start to make complete sense to those of you who weren't quite sure of the layout of this house, because looking back on it now, that is going to be the kitchen, and above there is the mezzanine. So I'm going to measure up, go and get the pieces, and hopefully this week we'll start to see some change. Hey, it starts. Hello. I got this drum from Louise. It's really big, going to come in very handy for something. A little bit of woodwork rot in there, but I think it's going to be all right outdoors eventually once I've sealed it all. Good size, maybe a good tabletop for something. Little bar. Nice. Not forgetting that, of course, that will be my chicken coop. That's on my list. Right, we've ordered the wood. Going to cut them up now. That's going to be for the ceiling in the lower room, and we're going to get the plasterboard for the front and the back of the house, the whole of the ceilings and the mezzanine. And then once we've got all that sorted out, we'll then get all the walls. Wood, plasterboard, sorted. That was lucky. We just found a cover to go over the whole top of the truck so we don't have to unload it to the morning, because it's getting a little bit later and I want to walk Will before it gets dark. Lovely sky. See you in the morning. Day two. Very exciting. We've got the materials we need for the ceilings and the mezzanine. Now we just got to get on with it. But before we do anything, we've got to have a little bit of a tidy up in there because we made a bit of a mess. And obviously once it's all cleared, we won't be tripping over things. So that's first, and then we'll see some action. Last year, I decided that I was going to do a trail from the waterline, my dam, going all the way to the very top of the hill. I got stopped in my tracks, partly because it was very difficult getting through there, and going into the summertime, it's really hard, sweaty, getting scratched up, etc. And then I thought, well, I'll wait until further down the line. Obviously, we're working on a house in the village. This year is one of my little goals, is to see if I can get my new trail going all the way to the top. And well, I've discovered in the last few weeks that the bulldozer, the guy who I bought the trailer off, has been going all over the hills here making new tracks. Not only has he made a number of tracks joining the existing ones, but there are so many more. I can't believe in the last week with walking Will up in there how many new tracks there are. They're all over the place, and he said that's partly because of the hunters and partly because people who want to do a bit of rambling or walking around here have more access and many more points. It's probably very good as well for the fires. But I decided now I'm going to ask that guy if he can do me a little trail going up from the beginning part of the dam, which is just up there, and follow, trying to zigzag as much as possible to make it a bit more interesting than a straight line, and see where he gets. Now, if he has trouble in places, I'll be able to continue by foot and see if I can open it out a little bit. He's going to get back to me tomorrow, and hopefully over the course of this week he's going to be able to start at least from the top of the waterline up to the top brow. You can probably see through the camera. It does then go down very steep the other side. I know one thing for sure, Will is very excited about this. He's already gone up a few of the tracks. I'm saving some of the higher ones because it's going to take me a little bit of time to regain some fitness levels. But it's probably going to take us a couple of months before we've covered everything. Feels like we've moved into a new area. Very exciting. Right, another day. Yesterday we managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the brackets up before it was getting a little bit too dark. Today we're going to continue down along this column, and hopefully we'll get the wood cut out for the beams and get them all in place. And at that point it should start to resemble a floor and a ceiling. To give us maximum strength for the flooring on the mezzanine, we've gone 4 centimetres, 8 by 16. That's them lying on the floor, going across there. And on the ceilings, we're using 6 by 12 centimetres, which is plenty strong enough to hold up the plasterboard. So now we've got one more bracket on either side to go here, but we're leaving that until we got these beams in, because there's going to be one step coming up onto the top level, and we want to make sure that we can use the last beam as our support, part support for the step, and we want to make sure we get that absolutely right. So if we get all the beams in first, we can then measure off from that and then figure out the steps accordingly, and then we put the last one in. Cool. Now we've got plenty of headroom. Feels very strange seeing it now all up. And Ooh. I'll do a couple of these, James. It's taking the weight.
So we're going to do 5.
Fine.
Yeah.
Good job. Wow, that is a moment to remember putting that up. Has taken quite a lot of the day because we wanted to make sure that we were doing it accurately. We have got pretty much all of the beams up, as I said, apart from that last one. We'll come back tomorrow and we're going to start up onto the ceiling, getting those brackets in place and then cutting the wood out, getting them all up there, and then we'll see what wood we got left over because we're going to need to do something on the step going up onto the mezzanine. So if we need to get more wood, we can do it in one hit. Anyway, I think it's time for a coffee. Hello.
Hello. Looks good, doesn't it?
It does look good.
Great. Coffee time?
Yep, absolutely. And the sun's out.
Sweating.
So this is a bit of fun because it's not a particularly difficult job to do, putting the brackets in. But when you're up on the scaffolding, it does make it a little bit wobbly and it's not so much fun. But we managed to get quite a few of them up so far. James has got a couple more to do. I've got a couple more to do on this side and we can put up the wood.
Be right.
Hey. Done. Good job for the day. The last half an hour you achieved more than all day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's good. So
It's
all
not a difficult task, as I said earlier, it's just up the scaffolding with all the tools resting on one platform. And,
So what's next?
Cup of tea and a biscuit.
Oh, you're right.
wow, what a relief. Good job. So how does it feel up there on the mezzanine?
Very nice.
Solid.
Solid. Wow, what a lovely way to spend the end of the first week of the new year. It's been ages since I've been up on the top of this hill, good month or two, and especially right now as the sun's going down, feels so good. It feels like you're on top of the world. James's birthday today. 58. Got his new toy. Very happy for him. Right, we're up to that point in the video, as mentioned earlier. Going to be giving away this Reolink Go Plus camera. One very straightforward question. Before I get on with that, I just want to thank everybody in the last 2 videos who have been leaving such amazing comments. I really do appreciate that. That was regarding Bert and my hand. Many thanks. Now, you may also notice that whenever I read any of the comments, I always put a thumbs up and a little love heart symbol that's on there, just so that you know that I'm actually reading them. I won't be doing that going forward because it takes so long, but rest assured I do read all of the comments, and where necessary I will of course be answering them, so don't stop sending your messages in. Right, this little prize is going to go out to my subscribers, so if you're not already and you like watching my videos, do consider subscribing. And of course, if you like them, don't forget to thumbs up and share around. In order to get this, I guess, easy for me, I'd like the answer via Messenger. And in order to do that, if you go to my homepage on YouTube, you'll see an About section. In that About section, you'll see a list of things ranging from Buy Me a Coffee to Patreon to Instagram and Facebook. That's where you need to go, into Facebook, in order to messenger me. The question is, my Kubota B7200 here, beautiful orange, was to replace Borg, my Lamborghini tractor, because those tyres were seriously expensive. And I gave it a nickname. What is the nickname of my Kubota tractor? So in your answer, keep it nice and short, no sentences, just the answer, and I'll pick the first person who gets it correct. And hopefully over the course of the next year and 2 years, I'll be doing more and more little giveaways like this. So keep your eyes open. Anyway, good luck. Oh, bless him. I thought one of the things I really wanted to have in this house was like a memory wall. I know loads of people have done it, something I wanted to do for a long time, but I've never really lived anywhere where I could really have somewhere that was more permanent. Whereas now, hopefully when I get a wall, I'll be able to start doing that. And where better start than with a nice painting, hopefully a nice painting of Bert. I want to put on there all of my memories from when I moved out to the Algarve, and over time I'm hoping to add to that more and more, all those key moments that meant something. And well, we'll see how this one turns out. I was planning on starting the well, or continuing the well, this weekend. We've been taking it fairly easy down at the house because I'm very wary of my hand. It was only a month ago that I had this done, 4 weeks ago. So I've still got to be careful, even though it's healed up really well. It's still a tiny bit sore. And if I'm going to be moving heavy rocks and getting a wheelbarrow full of cement down, up and down the garden, then I want to make sure that I'm not going to do it any damage. So that'll be starting next weekend. It looks like we might get a little bit of rain this afternoon and tomorrow. So perfect timing for me to carry on with this painting. Before I disappear, I've been asked if I have any New Year's resolutions. No, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I'd rather just look forward in the year and just enjoy every moment. I do have some goals, obviously. Nice to set some targets and some goals, keeping it fairly straightforward. And we'll see what goes on afterwards. Want to make sure that house in the village is finished very soon, of course. Want that done, dusted and sold soon as. Make sure I have a roof over my head, very important, because I'd like to be in that house by the end of the year in whatever state it's in. As long as the roof's on, I should be able to get in there. And of course, I've got to finish the well. That'll happen in the next couple of weeks. Got to make myself that full-size giant elephant and the chicken coop, and I've got many other things, but those are my little targets, and if I can get anywhere close to that, I'll be happy. But the key thing for me is living in the moment, and losing Bert the other week was definitely a sign to me. As much as I try and keep in the moment, it really was a sign to me that it's so important to live in the now. I don't just want to look back at memories. I want to enjoy that moment and not concentrate too much on what's going on in the future apart from my goals. So that's my plan. I'm definitely going to be turning the news off from now on. I know that much. I haven't had it on for the last 3 weeks, and I used to follow what was going on around the world quite avidly, but not anymore, and everything seems so much more pleasant. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to end the video. Thank you very much for watching. It's going to be a really interesting year. There's going to be so much going on, so I hope you can join me going through this year, and hopefully we will have some more prizes to give away. So until then, nothing more for me to say than see you next weekend. Take care of yourself, stay happy, and of course, more than ever, stay positive. Bye for now.